What's up, y'all? Erroneous here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. In today's video, I want to talk about all the new champions that came into the game. So yeah, let's get right into it. I'm going to tell you my thoughts on the new champions for Alice in Wonderland. Behind me, I am on my free-to-play challenge account, which is the 2025 account. But first, we've got Alice. And I did want to say this, I'm not going for the fusion for Mad Hatter, even though I really, truly want to go for the fusion. I just simply cannot do it. I've got too much going on in my life. I've got too much going on at work. I've got a kiddo, I've got the free-to-play challenge that I'm in as well. And I just don't have the time to do everything at once. So I really want to push towards this challenge and focus most of my attention on the challenge. So for the first champion, we got Alice here. They've got so many freaking legendaries now in Sacred Order. It is absurd. I think it's crazy. But Alice the Wanderer, she's a pretty good champion. I do think she's strong for early game players. Everybody that does the free-to-play challenge will get Alice the Wanderer. So I think she's going to be pretty nasty because the attacks all enemies, chance of increasing the cooldowns of all enemies is disgusting, right? So this is going to be great skill. I'm not going to go through and read every single thing, just kind of the highlights in my opinion. And then she does have a nice passive with a active effect as well. Resets the cooldown of one of this champion's skills each time they kill an enemy, and it occurs once per turn. Very strong, but also whenever this champion attacks, inflicts 3% more damage to each target for each turn remaining on all of their skill cooldowns. So that is really cool. You want to basically utilize the AoE, or you even partner her with another person that can increase skill cooldowns. If you're endgame, right, you're probably going to have Warlord or other champs. You could even use Basher if there's a Basher, things like that. But yeah, Alice the Wanderer, I didn't even notice there was a bunny on her back. That is super cool. I love the attention to detail they have. That is so cool. I didn't even notice this. Super, super cool. I've never spun her around to see what was on the back. So yeah, really, really cool champion. I think she's great for anybody. Attack in all battles for the aura, also great. She's a really nice champion. The next champion is going to be the Mad Hatter, of course, the fusion. Again, the fusion I'm not going for, but Mad Hatter, also super cool. Plarium knocks it out of the park in terms of aesthetics. I think they will be number one in terms of aesthetics for a long time. But yeah, this guy is insane looking. He kind of looks like the Joker from Dark Knight. I mean, he looks nasty, dude. Ooh. He's kind of creepy too, not gonna lie. So attacks one enemy 2 times, each hit, chance of stealing a buff. It's not bad. Also applying a buff spread effect, a debuff spread effect is insane. And he only does it to champions that are under Hex. So this is good for Hydra. Very good for Hydra. And then this one here attacks all enemies, 75% chance of placing a Hex, and then a weaken. Yeah, that's great. The ally with the highest crit damage will team up and join the attack. That's insane. The ally joining the attack will use their default skill. I feel really bad not going for this champion. I really want to go for him, but, I just won't have enough time. I'm going to forget to do something on my main free-to-play account, and I'm not going to be able to get it. I don't work from home. I do too much at work and stuff. So I just won't be able to do it, unfortunately. And it feels bad. It's the FOMO, but you know what? Hey, I can't get it. It is what it is. Sometimes you got to take a rest, and sometimes you got to focus on other things in life. It happens. So the damage dealt by the ally joining the attack will increase 10% per debuff on the target. That's not bad. So for Hydra, this guy's going to be disgusting in Hydra as well as Chimera so far. The Whiff of Madness, increase the duration of all buffs on all allies, 1 turn. Decrease the duration of all debuffs on all allies by 1 turn. Also fills turn meter by 20% on a 3 turn. Also filthy. But this right here, the time for T, every 10 turns. This is basically like Odin, where Odin places every 9 turns block damage on the entire ally team that he has. But this one's the reverse. It's on all the enemies every 10 turns, taken by allies. Heals all allies by 20% of their max HP. And every 6 turns taken by enemies places a True Fear on them. And that is filthy because with True Fear, if a True Fear goes off, let's just go ahead and read this to you. When a champion with True Fear debuff attempts to use a skill, 50% chance that the skill will not activate, and the champion will lose their turn, and the skill attempted to use will go on cooldown. That is disgusting. All right. It's not just CC, it also puts skills on cooldown potentially with a True Fear. So nasty champion as well. We've got the Queen of Hearts, who's also a part of this faction. Another faction with an insane roster now. Like, absolutely absurd because of Narcissus. And now the Queen of Hearts. She's filthy. Like, she is so disgusting. Attacks all enemies. Decreased defense, big version on the A1. That's nasty. Fills the turn rate of all allies by 5%. This is just bonkers for an A1. That is insane. And she's a Void Legendary. Yes, she's a Void Legendary. She's harder to get, but still, this is disgusting anywhere in the game. Anywhere. PvE everywhere. You know, freaking go into arena, use that. Insane. Removes all buffs from all enemies, then places a Death Brand debuff on an initial target. Death Brand just allows for if you kill that person with a Death Brand while it's on, it blocks their revive. Also places a True Fear on all enemies. Putting her with the Mad Hatter on defense could be so freaking annoying. So annoying. Just like Odin. Teams up with all allies to attack a single enemy before attacking, places increased attack on them. Decreases the cooldown of this champions off with their head skill if this skill kills a target. That is an incredible ability right there. And then for Hail to the Queen, for every 10 buffs the enemy receives, grants this champion extra turn. And if there are multiple champions on the team with the skill, only one will activate. This is insane against any buff champions in Arena. Any buff champs in Arena will just shred them. Will literally just shred them. I mean, this is nasty. There's no cooldown on this. There's no cooldown. This is nasty. And 70 accuracy in all battles. The next champion is Cheshire Cat. For some reason, he's in Demon Spawn. I would have thought that he would have been put in like Skinwalkers, but hey, who am I to judge? So for Cheshire Cat, super, super cool looking champion. One of my favorite, absolute favorite champion skins in the game. This dude looks nasty. Attack-based champion, he's Spirit, which is really sad to see. But attacks one enemy if this champion's under a veil. Attacks all enemies instead. Very interesting ability. Places a perfect veil on him for 1 turn. It's based on attack and speed. Attack and speed. That's interesting. Attacks one enemy 3 times on the Feline Frenzy. Each hit will decrease the enemy's speed by 1%. Stacks up to 10%. So you need to get 4 hits to get the max of 10%. Okay. This effect does not work against bosses. Each hit will also increase this champ's speed by 1%. Stacks up to 10%. But how many turns is he going to get? Is he going to be good in Hydra? It's only attacks one enemy, but attacks all on the A1. If this ability is pretty strong, then maybe she could go for Hydra. But I don't know. If this skill kills an enemy on the A2, places a perfect veil for 2 turns, and the ally with the lowest turn meter for 2 turns. Kind of weak. I wish they just did all allies for 2 turns. And then attacks all enemies. Or maybe they change this into puts it on damage dealers. Something like that. Like attack damage dealers, defense-based damage dealers, and HP. For this one here, Grinning Helix. Attacks all enemies before attacking, places a perfect veil. Increase attack on this champ for 2 turns. Grants an extra turn if this attack kills an enemy. This guy could end up cycling. Maybe not. He doesn't get an extra turn on anything else. And then his passive. If this champion is under Veil or Perfect Veil, turn meter fill effects are 30% more effective. Wow. Okay. Also, if this champion's under Veil or Perfect Veil, this champion attacks ignores 15% of the target's defense and inflicts 15% more damage. Not bad. Whenever this champion's about to receive a hit that would drop their HP below 20%, blocks the damage, and then places a block damage in Perfect Veil. Okay, this guy's pretty nasty. This guy's pretty nasty. I definitely want this guy. Cheshire Cat, strong. If his multipliers are bad, then he sucks. So, Nave of Hearts. That's a undead. Last one. Nave of Hearts, where is he at? Here he is. Look, oh my goodness. Very similar look to Little Miss Annie. Is he a pairing with her? Look at that heart. Take a look at Little Miss Annie. Check it out. You can see her heart too. Interesting builds. Interesting builds. The guy looks super cool. I wouldn't mind getting him just because of the aesthetics on this guy. HP based champion. Does he do damage? I don't know. Do you have him? Let me know in the comments down below. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit, provoke chance. Each hit also heals the ally with the lowest HP by 3% of this champion's max HP. So you know this guy's going to be built well. 22,000 base HP is very high. Almost 1,200 defense as well to go with it. But he is lacking in speed. So he's not super fast, which is unfortunate. But if you're an endgame player, you can probably get the speeds no problem. Early game is going to be a little bit tougher. But on his A2, attacks all enemies. 75% chance of stealing 2 random buffs from each target. That's kind of frustrating because this right here could get him polymorphed if you utilize him in Live Arena. So you'd have to put him in a full feral set basically to try to stop from getting that taken, turning him into a sheep, or you'd have to put him into pinpoint as well. Yeah, so it's interesting. Places a continuous heal buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. Also places unkillable buff and a taunt on him for 2 turns. Not bad. Not bad. I wish they put on, I know I'm trying to be greedy a little bit here, but it's for the whole player base and the whole community. I wish they put on counterattacks as well on himself. Unkillable, taunt, and counterattacks so that he can go in and do this ability against champions over and over and over. Swaps HP with a target on the A3 and places a heal reduction on that enemy. This debuff cannot be removed, transferred, or have its duration decreased by enemies. Then equalizes the HP levels of all allies. HP level of all allies will be brought to the level of the ally with the highest HP. That's not bad. Also places a 60% increased defense on all allies. I mean, he seems more of a support as compared to a damage dealer based on this. But HP in all battle by 30% is not bad. I do like that since he's HP based. At the start of this champion's turn, fully restores this champ's destroy max HP. When attacked, destroys the attacker's max HP by 20% of the damage received. Stacks up to 50%. Wow. Wait a minute. Destroys their max HP by 20% of the damage received? And it stacks up to 50%. This guy could be really, really good for Scarab Boss. I mean, you just put him super tanky and you get him taking hits. And yeah, I mean, he actually could be a really good Go second champion. This is honestly one of the most insane things I've seen in this game of Raid. You've got Nave of Hearts, you've got Cheshire Cat, you've got Queen of Hearts, and Mad Hatter, and Alice. They could all pair really well together in Arena if you have these champions. They can all pair really well together. Mainly, I mean, like support with one of the damage dealers, but they can all pair well. You could put Nave of Hearts, Queen of Hearts, Mad Hatter, and Cheshire Cat on a defense team or an offense team, and there you go. You don't need much else, but you would have to be able to have the right gear to do it, right? But it's not going to be super meta, but it is going to help a lot of players out there. Again, I wish I could get the Mad Hatter. I'm just not going for him. Too much going on. I really want to focus on the 2025 free-to-play, and there you have it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Subscribe on your way out, and I'll see you on a video soon. Take care.